and obviously celebrating all that Lydia Ko achieved. Beth Ann, I'd be remiss if not to mention one of the biggest stars and one of the faces of the sport, and Nelly Korda. The inconsistencies continuing on. She did not medal over there in Paris. What do you make of where Nelly stands here today?
Well, I think what Nelly said, that she keeps compounding errors, is hits the nail on the head. That she keeps running up these big numbers. I think we were all holding our breath on that par three there, thinking, "Oh no, we're going to see another tip get quite that bad." But she's still not what we saw in the beginning of the year, which was, of course, spectacular. And that's not to say that she can't get back there in a hurry and still have a lot of big moments for the year. So, I don't think anybody's really worried about Nelly Korda, but it just really goes to show how tough it is to maintain that kind of brilliance for any stretch of time. And the way that she did it for pretty much the first half of the entire season is so incredible. And the LPGA is extremely deep.
Yeah, I think that when you look at her, it's hard to get to the top of the mountain, but it's even harder to stay there. And I think it's something you got to figure out. You got to figure out how, and you got to learn how to juggle your time, all the other distractions and commitments that are coming your way. And I do think she's going to figure that out. She comes from a sporting family. She comes from an entire family. Everybody in the family's had to deal with this situation. They'll figure it out. I'm not overly worried about her.
Yeah, maybe some people might be overly worried about what the LPGA Tour will look like without Lexi Thompson, as she's announced at some point retirement's going to happen for her, as well as Lydia Ko. So, Beth Ann, as we try to imagine what that world looks like without these two mega stars, teenage phenoms who've only achieved throughout their career, what does that look like to you?
Well, these two are so unique in that they started winning on the tour at 15 and 16 years old, and we have really watched them grow up. So there are some special attachments that a lot of fans especially feel toward these players who've watched them. Both of them have some spectacular highs and some spectacular lows. So, these are going to be big voids when they leave, and it very well could be that they both leave at the end of the season. And I think it's incumbent upon the rest of the tour, the players especially, to understand that the gaps that are here with these stars that we've been watching for more than a dozen years develop, and that it's going to leave a massive void on the tour. And I think players just need to understand the extra effort that needs to be made to take where they are. Even a Nelly, everybody, top 10 players, everybody needs to put in a little bit of extra work, because I can tell you, as a member of the media covering the sport, those two generate a lot of page views, a lot of interest, and that's tough to lose.